evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Stonadge channel, and today is Transfer Tuesday, baby. It's the start of the window, and why the hell not, eh? Once every week, we are now planning to, apart from when I'm on holiday, we won't talk about when I'm on holiday, but once a week, we are planning to gather right here in this situation and talk about all the transfer news going on. Once a week, that's all. Once a week, so I don't get sick of it. But I'm just buzzing to be back on the streaming going on. It's good to see David in the chat, as well as Izzy. Izzy, how are you? I haven't actually spoken to Izzy. Hey, David, Spencer as well. Yeah, this show's basically going to be all about interaction, ladies and gentlemen. It's just going to be really, really chill. And yeah. It's just, yeah, we're basically just going to chinwag, and that is the best place to be. It's the way we all love it, isn't it? It's a shame we have no football to watch, which is usually a good distraction for me, but it will just be me chatting for an hour. Everyone, get your questions in. That's the main thing. Dr. Usman, good to see you, my man. How are you? Good to see you. And yeah, we've got so much to go through today. That's the pleasure of it being once a week, is that we're going to have so much to talk about every single week, to cram into an hour, to cram in around all of my waffle, basically. So obviously you'll have noticed that I've been doing pre-recorded videos. Now, I'm a fan of doing these, but nothing beats the interaction of streaming, does it? And I can see, David, you got your little pink badge now. Big up to you, my man. That means you've been a member for 3 months, so congratulations for that. Is it 3 months or 2? I don't even know. Izzy stolen my fan. It's fine. I've got a fan right here that's blowing on me, so hopefully you guys can't hear that. But yeah, we're going to be talking so much today about Declan Rice, about Kylian Mbappé, about Alexis McAllister's transfer, about potential Liverpool moves, Sadio Kone as well, Manu Kone, Calvin Ramsey going on loan to Preston. So much to discuss from this. Jeremy Frimpong and Moussa Diaby being linked away from Bayer Leverkusen. There's so much going on. Federico Valverde, now I saw that come up last night, which is a very, very crazy and strange situation. But yeah. I'm buzzing with that. Hey, Granny Dwarf, good to see you, mate. Good to see you, as always, my good friend. Yeah, and again, apologies, I'm not in the studio today. Unfortunately, it's still packed up it's all still packed up from my packing, so I don't really have much space here anyway to do it. So you'll just have to be stuck with me in this sort of background area. I might try and spruce this up a little bit as well, but at the moment we've just got a Newport City shirt in the background and some curtains and me looking very corporate, which is not amazing, but it's just the way it's going to have to be. Also, yeah, I just wanted to shout out and say thank you so much for all the new wave of support on the channel. So we're now nearing 1,500 subscribers, which is limbs. We got over 13,000 views on the Kurtchu video, which is unreal. And Cadbury Vega has got 9k, which is mind blowing to me. So if we continue this train, who knows? Maybe we can get to 2k before the end of the summer. But make sure you hit that subscribe button. And before we get into it all, we will be doing live streams at least once or twice a week. Most of the time, it will be pre-recorded videos over the summer, though. And then we'll get back into watch-along season, which is the best place to be, in my opinion, anyway. So we've gone about 6 minutes in without even talking about transfers, which, I mean, it usually happens on this channel, doesn't it? We usually like to waffle, which is the best way forward, isn't it? Hey, Alex, how are we doing? Good to see you. Good to see you, mate. As always, we're talking more about Declan Rice. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Usman. I've not seen you before. But yeah, thank you very much for that, my friend. Appreciate that. So let's start. Where are we going to start off, ladies and gentlemen? I'll put it to you guys in the chat. Where do you guys want to start? Do you want to start Liverpool-based? Do you want to start elsewhere? I'm happy to talk. I think he's talking about Cardiff Bay, Spencer, not Tampa Bay. Is it Tampa Bay? But yeah, so where do you want to start? I'm up for starting wherever you guys want. I'm thinking a cheeky bit of Kylian Mbappé, potentially. I mean, he is headline news. He is headline news. So that we may as well talk about the man who is probably going to dominate transfer talk for the entire summer, isn't he? Like, realistically, we've gone to this situation where Mbappe is a greater entity. He's a greater entity than than some football clubs. Like he's that humongous of a brand and as a human. So he's a top class player, obviously, and he's a sort of player who likes this full control. That crazy situation in the contract at Paris Saint-Germain, the control he's been given there is mental. So yeah, I think starting with Kylian Mbappé. So the situation is that he has told Paris Saint-Germain that he wants to see out his contract. He won't sign an extension. So either he's being sold in the summer, or he's being let go on a free. Now Mbappé himself, is a top quality individual. We all know this. He's probably. I can't class him as the best player in the world right now. I can't class him as the best. You can't be the best in the world while playing in Ligue 1 for me. Anyway, but he's one of the top 5-6 players in the world. He's continuing to grow and develop as a footballer. He's developing as a leader too, and now it's the latest chapter in his saga. The issue is for me and I will tell you this right now, in my opinion, Kylian Mbappé will be at PSG at the end of this summer. He will be at PSG at the end of this summer. I have no doubt about that. The reason being, there is absolutely no football club in the world who can afford to pay him the wages that he will require. Because unless Real Madrid decide, you know what, but Dortmund, keep Bellingham. Keep Jude Bellingham, you can keep him. It's absolutely fine. Don't worry about it. We'll just send him to Liverpool. It's okay. Unless Real Madrid go backtrack on that, unless Real Madrid find a way to give themselves the amount of money to be able to pay a extortionate amount on Kylian Mbappé, then, mate, there's no other club in the world. They're saying, you say City can, Spencer. You're telling me. I know Pep Guardiola likes a big money signing, but for me, he likes a functional signing a lot more. And realistically, he ain't going there. I don't see him and Haaland working together. Hope you have a great birthday. And also, Granny Dwarf, I'll be heading to Switzerland very soon as well. I'm on my way to Switzerland in a couple of weeks. But yeah, no, City can afford him. But would City want to go and spunk £300 million, or however much the collective fee would be on Mbappe, when they could just try and potentially get him for free next season? There's no real point in any club, and PSG will try their best to get rid of him. He will absolutely try their best, I think. But no one's gonna be anywhere near it. I'm convinced Mbappe will be a PSG player and he will leave on a free next season. Whether he chooses to go to Real Madrid then, or whether he chooses to go to Manchester City, whether he chooses to go anywhere else, who knows? Literally, those are the only two clubs in the world he can probably go. Or he could go to Saudi Arabia if he really wants money, but he's literally in the peak of his career. Mbappe is, incredible. Why would he want to go there? So he's got two choices. Realistically, when you're this good and this demanding, there is no margin for clubs that you can choose. Whereas we'll talk about Manu Kone in a bit and talk about the margin of clubs he can choose. Kylian Mbappe has a very, very small, elite, maybe even 2 clubs in the world he can go to. Liz, how are we doing? Good to see you, Liz. And Rio as well. Good to see you, mate. There's literally no choice for him. Because he's got such a high demand. There's no choice. Don't worry about it, Spencer. Don't worry about it, mate. Oh my goodness. I worry for what we could see a potentially ruined career here. I already think he made a bit of a dodgy decision going to PSG or staying at PSG as long as he has done, but that's fair enough. He's allowed to make those decisions, and that's absolutely okay. And he's getting paid absolutely ridiculous amounts of money. Okay, we can accept it. He's playing in Europe. He's got a decent chance in the Champions League. I know they've never won it, but they will. Like Man City have, they will win it. So, what's going to happen with Mbappe? I want to let you guys to let me know. For me, this summer, 100% he stays right where he is. There is no way. There is absolutely no way he's going anywhere. Next summer, Next summer, I think there's those two choices. But is there anywhere else that he can go, ladies and gentlemen? Is there anywhere else in world football that Kylian Mbappé can go? Because I'm very open to hearing your suggestions, because I don't know any. I seriously don't know any. And yeah, I'm in a confused sector where he's in that section. Sorry, where he doesn't know. Like, will Real Madrid actually want him anymore? PSG and Real Madrid have a very, very tense relationship at the moment. They clearly have never been able to agree anything on Kylian Mbappé. It's clearly Mbappe's dream. I don't know. What about the Sheikh buys United? Now, that is intriguing. That is intriguing. I didn't think about that. That would be a very, very interesting situation. Hey, Jackie boy. Hey, Yusuf as well. That would be intriguing, as if Manchester United were bought. But Mbappe has been twerking for Real Madrid. Has been twerking for Real Madrid for the however long in his career. Like, it's mental. Mental. I mean, yeah, you're seeing, sorry, Rio, to go on that point. Are you, like, you've seen N'Golo Kante get 100 million. 100 million pounds per, and Benzema's getting paid like 3 million a week. Mbappe, imagine the mental fees they'd be paying Kylian Mbappe to go over there. Like, I reckon you'd be talking 10 mil a week. Literally 10 mil a week on wages. He is a player in the peak of their powers. There's no way. But there is a way. There is. Because if anyone gets offered that money, they take it. Will Kylian Mbappe really care if, at the end of the day, he's getting paid, you know, and they don't pay tax, by the way, so it's straight in that sort of cash. 10 mil, 10 mil, 10 mil, 10 mil, 10 mil, for example. Would he take it? I think everyone in their nan would, to be honest. Even in the peak of their career. But I really don't know. I know money isn't everything. But for me, I think it's a really important thing for Kylian Mbappe. In my opinion, anyway. But yeah, it's a very, very strange one. And I really, really hope that he makes the right decision for his career. Which for me is Real Madrid or Manchester City. That's it. Real Madrid or Manchester City. Falafel, good to see you. But yeah, we'll put a poll in the chat in a bit about Mbappe. But he is obviously, you know, the front runner and one of the premier poster boys of football itself. You know, Tom, I understand that point 100%, but the comparative is golf, right? You're seeing these elite golfers, even in their prime, like Dustin Johnson, other players going to play live golf. If they get paid enough money can buy anyone. And I mean that. Like, it can buy anyone. Like, seriously, there's very, very few staunch humans, staunch people who will, like, reject that sort of money. And I respect anyone who does. But if it were me, and the fact that I could put that away and look after my family long term, or look after a village even, or look after a country, like, yeah, it's mental. So yeah, we spent 15 minutes talking about Kylian Mbappe, but he's his case, I think, is more important. It is more important next season than this one. So, next up, I want to talk about another thing to do with the Saudi League, and that's Steven Gerrard. So, Steven Gerrard's now been announced as Al Ittifaq's manager. So, that is for me, I want to see what you guys think before I say anything. What are you guys thought? Yusuf, there we go. So, Steven Gerrard managing in the Saudi Pro League. I want to know what you guys think about this. I really, really do. What do you guys feel about Gerrard going across and managing in the Saudi League? For me, I will wait until what you guys think, because I have my opinion, and it might be against the grain. I don't know. But we'll start that by saying, good to see everyone in the chat at the moment. If you haven't already, hit the like button and share the stream. That'd be amazing. Share it with your nan. Everyone counts. So yeah. Yusuf says that's probably his level. So I'm actually, I'm going to say this right now, and you guys are going to think, Chris, you're absolutely mental. What are you saying? This is the best possible career move for Steven Gerrard. Realistically, okay, he's getting a fat paycheck to start off with. He'll probably earn more than he's ever earned in his career. Let's just start. Let's just start with that one. 2. What were the other potential surroundings on this deal for Steven Gerrard? What other clubs were actually going to go in for him? He became such an unattractive prospect when he went to Aston Villa. So after that, realistically, the only way he could ever go is down. In that situation, he goes to the Championship. And in the Championship, you have a lot of heavy, high-intensity football. It's a very difficult league to get out of. It's fantastic quality, and there's a lot of media pressure. Like, the Championship, I think, is the 3rd most watched league in the world, which is, for me, is mind-blowing, like how amazing that is. So, what better than to get experience with dealing with egos than managing a bunch of egos out in Saudi Arabia? But what's more, he'll be getting that paycheck, and he'll be able to develop a footballing philosophy without Mick Beale. Mick Beale obviously was a really, really key figure for Steven Gerrard, and it just didn't work out when they parted ways. Gerrard, of course, has the respect. Does he have the nous that Mick Beale does after being in coaching for so long? Of course he doesn't. This is a chance for Gerrard now, without pressure, because realistically, who are they to sack Steven Gerrard? Without pressure, Steven Gerrard can go and develop himself as a manager. I look at Xavi Hernandez. Do I ever really hear about anything he did with Al Sadd? No, I didn't. I didn't hear anything he did with Al Sadd. All I know is that he came to Barcelona and he's done a fantastic job. Do I think Steven Gerrard's the next Xavi Hernandez? Am I saying that? No. Do I think there's a chance that he can really develop as a manager? Absolutely yes. And for me, it's the best career move he could have possibly chosen right now. There is no way, the only way he could ever have managed in the Premier League soon is if he went to Liverpool as a caretaker manager if Klopp got sacked. He would literally have to Lampard it. And he's better than that, in my opinion. I do think he's a better manager than Lampard. So, and I think Lampard might end up going over there himself. So yeah, it's a really intriguing subject. I really, really want him to do well. Obviously, it's a sketchy sort of situation with the amount of money people are getting paid. But for me, if I'm Steven Gerrard, I think in a career move, that's an incredible choice. It really, really is. That brings me on to another one, Liz. In terms of experience and in terms of, retirement homes in football in the MLS. Obviously, David Beckham owns Inter Miami. They've recently going to sign Lionel Messi. You're also in talk to sign Jordi Alba, as you've just mentioned. Again, we're starting to see a shift in this situation. Obviously, America, Miami, it's a very attractive prospect. It's an amazing lifestyle, and for the higher ups in that situation, it's less about the money. I think obviously the money plays a big part. It plays a big part, and that for me is a huge one. I'll just go back to Falafel's comment here. Chris, who wants to manage a bunch of overpaid aging footballers who are basically just there for the jolly? It's a sideways move at best for me and won't guarantee a good club when he returns. Yeah, in that situation, I think it just gives him experience of managing egos. So say Steven Gerrard gets to manage the likes of Karim Benzema or something like this. Obviously, he's not. But if he goes and manages someone of this ilk, it becomes, a real good task. A real good task. and it helps you improve himself as a manager. I genuinely think it's probably the best move he could have possibly done. And I'm not saying it's like... I think if he'd have gone, say, to Leicester or to Leeds that he's been linked with, it would have been a poor move. There's a lot of scrutiny at those clubs. There's a lot of turmoil. Whereas if you're going across there, it's a good place to develop and hone your skills without actually having that much pressure from the media, which is a huge thing. Hello there, Amy. Good to see you. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good move for Lionel Messi. I can't lie. I think we all saw it sort of coming. I thought he'd be able to. I thought he'd possibly go back to Argentina, but and maybe play for Newell's Old Boys. I thought that would be a thing, but he's gone to Inter Miami, and fair play. You know, that is an incredible move for the MLS. The brand Messi, you know, the player. You know, they've had Pele over there. They've had George Best over there. They've had Beckham. They've had Ibrahimovic. For me, Messi is going to be obviously the best player to ever play over there. Not only because of the ability that he has, but because of he's still at a very good level. He's got double figures goals and assists in League One this season. So, oh my goodness me, he's going to be incredible. Tickets for Inter Miami are 500% above market value. That is unreal. And I'm not surprised because people will pay for that product, which is nuts. Like, it is nuts to be paying a ridiculous amount of money for football tickets, but you can understand why people will. Some people in their life, they never thought they'd have seen Lionel Messi play football, and now they get a chance to, which is an incredible situation for them. So fair play. And yeah, Messi will be the best player to ever play in the MLS, like in terms of ability and in terms of like where they are in their career. Kaká was great at Orlando City. He was. And there was obviously, Thierry Henry, as you mentioned, Amy, Steven Gerrard, Frank Lampard, Pirlo. Gerrard obviously didn't have the greatest time with LA Galaxy, but there's a lot of players who have gone over, but they've never really been at the level that Messi is. Like, obviously, this is Messi's downturn in his career, but in his downturn, he's still scoring and producing goals in World Cup finals and in the Ligue 1. So I think we can safely say he's going to be, you know, at the peak of where he's going to be in his career for the MLS anyway. Rooney too, exactly, yeah. They did awfully though, didn't they? And obviously he's now managing DC United. But yeah, that's something. For me, it's a place where you go and live the lifestyle as much as you go and earn the money. It's a little bit less about the money now in the MLS. I think they needed a lot of tempting. Beckham was an absolute superstar when he went over, and now they're sort of used to it. And now I think they've seen sort of developing younger talents. Of course, we've seen Josef Martinez. We've seen Miguel Almiron come through the MLS. There's plenty of others as well who have, you know, come through that system, come from South America. Thiago Almada is another one who's recently doing really, really well. And playing, again, in a low-pressure environment to go and develop themselves, which in some regards is a great way to develop footballers. It really, really is. So, yeah, look, Messi and Alba to the MLS, love it. Gerrard to Saudi Arabia, think it's a fantastic move for him. Probably the best move he could have possibly done, and a lot of people won't agree with me on that one. But also... yeah, that's basically it, really. Moving swiftly on. So we're 25 minutes into our hour. If you do want to talk about any topics in terms of transfers, please let us know in the comments below. So, next up, I'm going to talk about Manu Kone. So, I've done videos about Kefren Turam on this channel back in January, by the way. By the way, just shout out to Chris back then. He spoke about Kefren Turam before it was cool. So, yeah, blonde Chris knew what he was saying. Hey, Shahid, how are we doing as well? Then I've spoken about, you know, other midfielders. Gabri Veiga. I've spoken about Alexis McAllister. I've spoken about my dream summers, but I've spoken about other midfielders. And now, for moi, Manu Kone is going to be getting it very, very interesting. So, of course, Borussia Mönchengladbach have been demanding around 25 to 30 million pounds for Manu Kone. However, there are two new players in the deal. So Wolverhampton Wanderers and Aston Villa as well have been apparently reported to come in for Manu Kone. Now, the reason I haven't made a video on Kone, the reason I haven't is purely because I don't think it's going to happen. Now, the other transfers that I do make my videos on, some of them I think will happen, some of them don't. Manu Kone, I'm pretty convinced it won't. And the reason being, I think he is far too incomplete. Far too incomplete. There is a reason why Borussia Mönchengladbach are only demanding that sort of money for him. For me, yes, maybe last summer he would have been worth a bit more money. But now, Manu Kone, I think he needs to get a move such as a Villa or a Wolves, which works better for him in his favour. I mean, talking of my videos, let's talk about his FBref profile, because that's always something I like to talk about. It's awful. The only real sort of good area we're looking at is successful take-ons. His offensive play is woeful. His defensive play is very average. I worry about Sadio Kone. For me, Kefren Turam is by far and away a better option. And absolutely the better option. Why the hell not? Like, he is, I think for me, has everything else and more than the Manu Kone. But it would not surprise me to see him go to one of Wolves or Aston Villa. Of course, Aston Villa are deeply linked with as well with Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. I just don't think Kone will ever will get to the level he's required at yet. I think it's a very Matheus Nunes situation, like when he went to Wolves. I think it's a very similar one for Manu Kone. He's going to go for me to one of Aston Villa or Wolves. I think he'll probably be Wolves, in my opinion. Anyway, Chat Sports in the chat. Good to see you as always, my good friend. Yeah, I don't think Kone is going to happen for Liverpool. I think Aston Villa would be somebody who he goes to. There's a reason why Liverpool aren't paying 25 million euros. I do not think that Liverpool would haggle over 25 million euros. I know it's FSG, lads, but I don't think Liverpool would haggle over 25 million euros or 25 million pounds. Sorry, 30 million euros. If the player was worth it, like for me, I think it'll be Thuram and Vega, as you guys are saying, or one of at least. I hope. For me, I'd rather have both, obviously, but Gabri Vega, if you haven't watched him, I would recommend doing so, especially in the month of February this year, where he won February Player of the Month. I spent 3.5 hours of my life watching Gabri Vega, and I think he would be perfection. Him and McAllister. Now, obviously, we've got Curtis Jones-Harvey at it, Henderson, Fabinho, Bajcetic, people who can play around, whatever. McAllister and Vega, for me, ideal to play together. Beautiful to play together because they're both direct opposites. Very similar, but also very, very different. McAllister likes to go in from the left into the right. Gabri Vega going in from the right to the left. They would swoop in. They could change around. They've got so much about them. For me, those two destined to play together. So I would be very, very much down for a bit of Gabri Vega. I would not be down for Manu Kone. I don't think Liverpool will sign him. I think we'll definitely get Thuram. I'll probably do an updated video on Kefren Thuram at some point soon, but it has been done to death anyway. So I've got another couple of transfer videos reconciling. Have I spoken about Rice yet? No, Rice is going to be spoken about at around 45 minutes, Alex. So give us 15 minutes, my friend, because that's our ending spiel. So yeah, let's talk about Manchester City. By the way, look, I hate to say it, congratulations Manchester City. They've won the Champions League, they've won the treble. Fair play. You know, they've had a great time celebrating. I just want to say, like, for me, they're an incredible football team. They're tainted with a lot. They are absolutely tainted with a lot of, you know, difficult things to quantify. 115 charges. We don't know the outcome of it yet. So for me, I'm just going to say congratulations. You know, they are an incredible football team. I will not be. I'm not going to be sports washed enough to say that they haven't been impacted by heavy doping financially, but they have. And yeah, it was a very, very dull game, I have to say. I thought Inter Milan actually played really, really well and did everything to their game plan. They just didn't get out to Rodri enough for the goal. And guys, I did tell you he's a big game player, absolute big game player. So that's what Rodri was like. I almost celebrated when Rodri scored because I've been tooting his horn for so long. And finally, people are coming around. Finally, people are coming around, you know, how good a player he is. He's like Busquets times 10. Like, well, not times 2. Times 2, maybe 3. Maybe 3 if I'm being nice. But he is incredible. Let's just say this. Rodri is for me, up there with some of the best players in the world. And I mean this for all positions. He is up there with some of the best players in the world. If not, well, I'm not saying he is the best in the world. Of course he's not. You know, they've got Haaland and De Bruyne in their team. But he's there. He's in that category. 100%. And people need to start recognizing how good he is, because he is unbelievable. And I think people are now. I think people actually understand, like, he has got absolutely everything. So anyway, moving away from them, they are looking to strengthen with a £300 million transfer budget. £300 million. So they apparently are going to be backed heavily in the transfer market this summer, which is mental, to be honest. Man City plus 300 million is long. And the one player they have been linked to is Josko Gvardiol of RB Leipzig. Now, I think he could probably cost them around 80 to 90 million pounds. He's a player who can play both centre-back and left-back. He's played both of those really, really well for RB Leipzig this season and last season. Exceptional footballer. And for me, yeah, this is definitely a go. It's a very, very Man City signing. He has incredible statistics. Can play centre-back, left-back, 21 years old. £75 million it could be. This is, for me, where Man City have played Nathan Ake. Ake has been amazing, obviously, for Man City this season and last. This is the Ake replacement. This is the Ake upgrade. You know, when they went from Fabian Delph to Zinchenko and now they've gone to Ake, they're now going to take another step on and they're getting another world-class operator in Josko Gvardiol. Of course, Croatian, you know, international, top footballer, great ball-playing defender, can play, as I say, centre-back and left-back. I'm going to get his FB ref profile up once again, because he is pretty darn sexy with it, I can't lie. 96th for successful take-ons, 99th for passes, 90th for non-penalty XG for a defender isn't too shabby, 84th for shot-creating actions for a defender, 87th for non-penalty expected goals as well, 96th for successful take-ons, and 83rd for progressive carries. He is that good. He is that good. I think he's right up there. He's right up there, you know. He's going to be, again, Manchester City. Manchester City are going to be up there, in and around the Champions League, the Premier League, the Carabao Cup, and FA Cup. I genuinely think, will City win the quad next year, lads? Will City win the quad? Will City win the quad? Because who's going to beat them, really? Apart from Nathan Jones' Southampton. Genuinely. Like, so much pain. Screw you, City. Yeah, I don't think they will, by the way. I think they'll go and win the Premier League again. I think they think they might win a cup as well. I think they might do a double next year. But maybe not 4. Hey, Joshy boy, good to see you as always. Yeah. Us at Anfield, to be fair, they still haven't passed that test with fans. Still haven't passed that test. Loads of people were mocking me when we played Arsenal, and we were coming off a real bad run, and I was like, we're beating Arsenal, lads. And I know we didn't beat them, but we drew with them. So Arsenal did not pass the Anfield test. No one has passed the Anfield test, apart from Leeds United's Jesse Marsh. Like, what on earth is going on there? How has this happened? But yeah, I think it will be intriguing. So Josko Gvardiol, very, very close to signing for Man City. I think that will happen. I've got no debate about that, and I think it would happen over the summer. Yeah, I don't know. Pep Guardiola's last season is an intriguing one. That's come up this week. Of course, he said he's not going to extend his contract either. They are, like, a very, very, you know, in a very, very good place. Do I think, where else could Pep Guardiola go? Realistically, he could go to Serie A. Do I think he's got the hunger to build another dynasty? No. For me, I don't think he'll have another dynasty at another club. I think Manchester City will be his last club. And I think he'll go and manage maybe either. There has been talk before of him managing Brazil or Spain, somewhere like that, where he can still develop a philosophy, but not, have this high intensity, obsessive nature that he has at the moment. Obviously, it's literally top to bottom. Pep Guardiola is Manchester City. He is them. He is Man City. Like, you think of Man City, you think of Guardiola now, which is it's symbolic of the incredible work he has done there, footballing wise. I'm not saying off the field he's done much correct or legal, but the secret ingredient is crime, ladies and gentlemen. If it is Guardiola's last season, I'd like to see us cook. I don't know. Oh yeah, he would never manage Spain, to be fair. He might manage the Basque nation, to be fair. True, yeah, I forgot about that one. Colin, how are we, Colin? Good to see you, my friend. People keep forgetting the Celtics Lisbon Lions won the quad in 1967, so that achievement has been done. It is in Scotland, though, Colin. I can't lie. Scotland tax. Liverpool in Europa League final in Dublin. Will I go with Craig and Paddy? Well, me and my family have already booked hotels, mate. We've already booked hotels for Dublin next year. So whatever happens, we're having a nice holiday. Scottish tax, to be fair, Colin. But yeah, so away from that, we'll move on to more matters. Do you think York will sign a new contract, Liz? Ooh, I don't know. I don't think he's had much work done yet, to be honest. I don't think he's done much. Obviously, he's got McAllister over the line, but I think that McAllister was largely done by Julian Ward and the other recruitment team. That's what happens. I think Julian Ward and the recruitment team did all the work for McAllister. York, a lot of people say, oh, he's come in 7 days, he signed a player. That's not how it works. That is not how it works. Pep should go to a decent team with no money. Good luck that happening, Chat Sport. I reckon he might. I don't think he'll go to Italy because there is no money in Italian football. Would he go back to Barcelona? Would that ever happen? Maybe if Xavi decides to have a crack somewhere else. Arteta also runs out of his contract, by the way, just as Pep does. So he's definitely leaving Arsenal for City, and that is definitely happening. So sorry, Arsenal fans, you're in the mud in that situation. So yeah, away from this, we'll go to another bit of news, of course, that Manchester United are going to be potentially taken over by Qatari ownership, which has been bubbling on for so long. Like, I'm talking incredible amounts of time. Sheikh Jassim is the man who potentially has signed Manchester United. A lot of people obviously go into to buy Manchester United. Jim Ratcliffe is obviously still there as well. But the Qatari media have made a bit of a U-turn on this one. So they came out and was like, oh, well done, Sheikh Jassim. Congratulations. You are the new owner of Manchester United, blah, blah, blah. And actually, he's not. He's not. And they made a massive backtrack on this one. Jim Ratcliffe is still in that race. I think it's going to be big. I think it's going to be big for United. It is going to be big for Manchester United, seriously. Like, they will in the end, for me, they will in the end get back to where they were. Maybe not, winning the league every year, but definitely challenging. We've just got to hope that Liverpool stick around in that regard. Arsenal, Newcastle. The Premier League is going to be incredible. Like, seriously, it's going to be an incredible product. But with the amount of money, I don't know. Will Man City stick around at the top after Pep leaves and after, the situations? I don't know. What about the Chiesa rumours? I'm not convinced on the spending on him. I don't think we will sign him. I think that is just agent talk, to be honest. Obviously, Federico Chiesa was on top of the world after the Euros. He was incredible. One of the best, players at Euro 2021. Really instrumental for Italy, incredible for Juventus. A lot of people were saying, they would sell Salah for Chiesa. That's how good he is. That I was never in that camp, by the way. Chiesa, I think, has still got an abundance of talent, but there is always going to be an impact on a young player with that level of injury. I'm really not convinced. It would have to be 20 million for me to think about it. And to be honest, we really don't need a winger. We don't need any forwards. For me, our forward line is absolutely fine. I think it'll be absolutely fine, to be honest. I will be doing a video of keep, sell, loan for Liverpool. So or I'll be predicting the Liverpool squad by the end of the summer. So that'll come very, very soon. But yeah, I've got plenty of stuff recorded that I need to edit because I'm a lazy boy, and that's just the way it is, man. That's just the way it is. The latest on Benjamin Pavard rumours, that not much is going on in that regard. I literally haven't seen anything on Pavard in the last 2-3 days. But on David Raya to Spurs, now that's an incredible deal from Ange Postecoglou. And by the way, my thoughts on this is probably one of the best signings Spurs will make all summer is appointing him. A lot of people will have a lot of their doubts on Ange Postecoglou. Every single time he comes up and he defies expectation. The style of football at Celtic, just absolutely exceptional, unbelievable. One of the real top managers to ever manage in Scotland, in my opinion. He's amazing. And to get him in at Spurs, do I think they'll win a trophy? I can never say Spurs will win a trophy. Absolutely not. Do I think he will push them up the league, get them competing again, playing sexy football? Yes. It will not be. You'll see a lot of goals going in at one end and a lot of goals going in at the other. But that's what they need at Spurs. They've had absolutely dry period. A dry period of Jose ball, Conte ball, and whatever the hell Nuno Santo ball is. That is really, for me, what Spurs needed, and they were gagging for. And Postecoglou is perfect for them. And David Raya is a perfect for his style of play. Now, he did incorporate Joe Hart very, very well into his team at Celtic. Now, Joe Hart massively improved in his ball playing regard. He did get better. But David Raya will certainly be an upgrade on him. He's been incredible for Brentford. Really, really incredible for Brentford. And I think he's somebody in the end who was always destined. I remember watching him at Blackburn Rovers. And he was very error-prone, but he still had so much about him and so much confidence. I think David Raya is that. He's so confidence personified, and you really, really want, for me, as a goalkeeper, you would want somebody who personifies that confidence, like Alisson, who's calm, and it's just nice and chill. So yeah, that'd be the it for me. So yeah. Past high-grade injuries didn't stop us signing Nunes. No, it did not, Dr. Usman. It was not, however, it was not the severity of Chiesa, I'm pretty sure. But let me just double-check that. I know he was out for about a year, but it was more precautionary for the majority of that one. But let me just have a look. Nunes injury history. Let me just have a look. So yeah, he had a big 89-day injury, and he had a knee surgery back in 2021. But he only missed 6 games for Benfica that season. So he's not he didn't have the level of injury that Federico Chiesa did. Yeah, Calvin Ramsey going on loan as well to Preston North End. That's a good move for Calvin Ramsey. Of course, Liverpool has sent Sepp van den Berg on loan to Preston previously. He's a player that really, he came in and we all expected him to be number 2 to Trent. Injuries really prevented that. It's a bit of a growth problem with him, and I think he will definitely improve in the Championship. There's no doubt about that. So congratulations to Calvin Ramsey. It'll be a really good move and good for Liverpool too. And it also means that Conor Bradley, I think, will stick around and be part of the first team squad next season, which is good to see. Especially in Europa nights, baby. Because he is a right back who has always drifted into playing central midfield. So maybe he could be the Trent backup, which I'm looking forward for that. Pochettino at Chelsea, Ange Postecoglou at Tottenham, who will succeed next season. I think it depends on what success means. I think, realistically, for both of those teams, top 6 is a successful season. Like, I know that a lot of their fans won't like to agree with me on that regard, but for me it is. They both would take top 6. I think that the fact that Newcastle have barged themselves in there is a really important factor. The fact that Newcastle got so much better, Arsenal got so much better, Liverpool will get so much better. Everyone knows that Liverpool will be better next season. Everyone knows that City will still always be consistent and hungry, and that is just what they're like. So I feel like success for those two is top 6, 100%. Right, Declan Rice, baby. So, West Ham United's board have confirmed that Declan Rice will be leaving the club at the end of the season. The Guardian have come through today and said that West Ham are close to selling the midfielder for £100 million. Their bid is yet to be submitted, but they have West Ham want financial add-ons to be included in the move. They've accepted they're going to lose Rice, and Arsenal are ready to make him the biggest player in their history. He's also wanting Ilkay Gundogan from Manchester City, Moises Caicedo as well from Brighton. So Declan Rice would likely cost Manchester City or whoever. He would cost them about £100 million. That is the situation with him. Let me just get this straight, right? Declan Rice will be doing the best thing for West Ham United by being sold. Now, obviously, West Ham would love to keep a player like Declan Rice. Obviously, they would. But the amount of money they're going to earn from that, including add-ons, that will set West Ham up for a long, long time. Even if they do drop out of European places. Even if they do, Liz... Big up, Liz is a member for 2 months. I did not just say rice, baby. I did just say rice, baby. Sorry, Liz. Sorry. Big ups to you, though. And welcome to Pink Badge Gang. So for Declan Rice, he's doing the best thing for West Ham by leaving. They are going to have that money to go and spend and to keep them sustained for a long, long while. Obviously, they really wanted to keep him, but £100 million, like that is probably 4 or 5 players for West Ham, like that could genuinely strengthen their squad, prepare for the future, build around the likes of Jared Bowen, of Naif Agurd, of Lucas Paquetá. These players who again could be sold on in the future for massive fees. Like, let's not forget, like, people were looking at Jared Bowen last season for £50 million. Paquetá was going to be 60, 70 million. These are great footballers. Like, incredible, impeccable. Scamacca as well. Of course, it hasn't worked out for him so far. Will it work out for him in the future under Moyes? Maybe not. For me, I think they should cash in, but that is just me. West Ham, top 10 next season is a success and a good run in the Europa League, right? And then you push again for a Conference League place or a Europa League place or whatever. I think West Ham's best chance of getting Europe next season, right? And that's not me being harsh on West Ham right now. I think West Ham's best chance of getting Europe next season is actually finishing 3rd in their Conference League group. I did just say Pink Badge Gang. But yeah, their best chance of getting Europe next season is finishing 3rd in their Conference League group and going down to it. I'm sorry. Like, West Ham could improve drastically all around the field, look to their continentals, and find 5-6 footballers. That's where they're going to strengthen as a whole. They probably would have 50-60 million to spend anyway. So add the Rice money into that. That's 150 million. So that's 530 million players. For West Ham United, lads. Go and sign yourself James Ward-Prowse. Go and sign yourself Calvin Phillips. Pink badges for 2 months, Falafel. So you go from green to blue to pink. Alex, you sound like a very spoiled West Ham fan, man. That is for West Ham United, finishing in Europe has been a very, very big rarity in their history, especially recent. It's a huge achievement, the fact that they've done it, and that's why That's where they definitely deserve. I love West Ham, and I really want them to go and win it again. But yeah, go and get yourselves players who are going to consolidate you in mid-table and help you build further and further, because it's going to be a long while for West Ham to catch up to the likes of Newcastle, to the top 6 and Newcastle, basically. I don't know. But what goes up must come down, Alex. What goes up must come down. For me, that is the perfect crescendo for David Moyes and for Declan Rice. Now they need to go back down a bit and rebuild, which is exactly what they're going to do, in my opinion. Keep building. You might actually finish mid-table, and mid-table's good for West Ham. Finishing 9th is good. It is. And don't forget Brighton as well. Like, realistically, West Ham finished 14th this season and won the Conference League. And for me, that's a good season for West Ham. Like, we can't forget where they've come from. But yeah, Declan Rice, for me, he's going to Arsenal. He's apparently, West Ham apparently looking at Ajax's Edson Alvarez as a replacement, who can also play centre-back. They're also looking to hire a director of football to go alongside David Moyes, which I think is a really good idea, actually. David Moyes has obviously had its trouble with big money before. João Palhinha has also been linked with West Ham from Fulham, and James Ward-Prowse as well, as I've just mentioned by The Guardian there. 24 years old, though, Declan Rice. He's got the career ahead of him. He's an exceptional footballer. Somebody who I feel like can go... I feel like he can go up 5 or 6 levels. 5 or 6 levels to go to... For me, could Declan Rice, guys, and you might think I'm drunk here. Could Declan Rice go on and be one of the best midfielders in the world? Is he one of the best midfielders in the world right now? Could he? Is he the best? Is he one of the best midfielders in the world? Maybe. Or am I drunk? I don't know. I haven't drunk any alcohol, but he is that good. Like, he has led a side who has got no real quality to a Europa Conference League. Like, obviously, they have got quality, but not much of it. So, yeah. Fixtures announced Thursday at 9 o'clock BST. Hope we get Luton away. Absolutely. It's mine and Izzy's anniversary that day. It's mine and Izzy's anniversary that day. And I'm definitely waking up early and doing a stream, lads, if anyone fancies it. But, yeah, 9 o'clock. I'm hoping... I know that Liverpool are actually... Excuse me. Liverpool are actually... going now further, are going into the season without a home game for me. Home game, no, I think it's the first 2 games aren't at home because of the Anfield Road end. So yeah, I reckon 2 away games first. It'll be. I think it's 2, or it might just be the first game. If any of you guys know in the chat, let me know. I think realistically we're going to end up having a promoted team away. That's my prediction. Last 4 seasons we've had a promoted team every first game. It's got to be again this year. But I want to see. I want to see. I would absolutely love to get like Luton away. Not a problem, Liz. Not a problem. But yeah, no, it's going to be exciting. I want to get do you guys think that Declan Rice will end up... Is there any other destinations potentially for Declan Rice? £100 million? I think £100 million is a fair fee, right? The thing is, right, they usually try and give it, like... I don't know. They say it's, like, random, but it's just not. Because when have Liverpool ever played Everton or Man United or someone like that on the opening day? I'd love to find that out. David, David in the chat, can you find out for me if Liverpool have ever played Man United or Everton on the opening day of the season? Because I don't think that's ever happened. They don't usually like to put big games on the opening day. They maybe might do an Arsenal Spurs North London derby. They might do a Manchester derby, maybe. But they'll never do like a Liverpool Man United or an Everton Liverpool or something like that. They'll never do like a big derby. They'll never do it, lads. They refuse it and they say, "Oh, it's all random. It's all random, guys." It's not. Stupid. I cannot wait to go and watch Liverpool v Luton, by the way. I am buzzing for that. And big ups to any away Liverpool fans who get tickets. That would be incredible. But yeah, it's going to be cool. Anyway, I'm just going to let you guys know of what the schedule is for the rest of the week. So we are planning, I've planned some videos out for whilst I'm away as well. So I've actually recorded 2 podcasts which are coming out whilst I'm away. Well, I'm going to record 2 or 3 more before I do. Which are just, you will see. I've also already pre-recorded some videos with Izzy as well, which will come out whilst I'm away too. There won't be videos every day. I might even do a cheeky stream whilst I'm on holiday, but I won't go away until next Thursday. So it's a week and 2 days away, which I can't lie, lads. I love a holiday. I absolutely love a holiday, so I'm living for that, and I cannot wait. But yeah, there's if you want City first, get City out the way. 100%. Big up to Jen. Welcome to Pink Badge Gang. Big up Chris in the chat. Big up to you, Jen. Big up to you, you friggin' legend. Which youth players do you think might be able to get PL games this season in terms of Liverpool? Obviously, I think Bajcetic will play. I think Ben Doak will play some games. Yeah. I think those players. In terms of other ones, realistically, I don't know. I think Tyler Morton again will come in and play more, but maybe like Crystal Palace away, lads. I'm going right. Early prediction for Liverpool's first game of the season. I'm going for Crystal Palace away. It stinks of it, lads. It stinks of it, actually. Crystal Palace away on a Friday night. Crystal Palace away on a Friday night. It's going to happen. Hey, Mohammed, good to see you, my man. He's just coming towards the end of the show. Sorry about that, but we are going to be finishing up, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be streaming at least once a week, apart from when I'm on holiday. I'm not going to stream when I'm on holiday. We are going to be streaming at least once or twice a week. Once the preseason games get rolling, we'll obviously be streaming the preseason games live here on the Stonadge channel. So make sure you come here, you hit that like button, you subscribe, join the family, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll be getting a video out to you tomorrow and the day after too. I've got plenty of stuff pre-recorded and getting ready as well. We've never done it. Thank you, David. Thank you. I couldn't lead this stream forever. So finally, before we get off, we'll read some of your predictions. Liz says Luton away. Spencer, I think, says Sheffield United away. Yusuf said Arsenal away. Potentially, you could get a top 6 clash. I think away. I think you could get away with a top 6 clash, but not a like a derby. I don't think they ever do it. They're like, oh, supercomputers. As I say, it really winds me up. But anyway, I've been Chris Stonadge. This is the Stonadge channel, and it's been a big pleasure to be back live with you. I'll see you next Tuesday for the next one. Yeah, see you later.